I know you all enjoyed the fall episode, but let me tell you something. Christmas is my favorite time of year, so you know I had to bring you a full-length Christmas episode. I want you to join me for a full day of all things Christmas. First, I'm gonna run outside and finish up my outdoor decor in some of my pots outside. Then, since it's kind of cold, I'm gonna come in and make some delicious sipping chocolate. And yeah, you know I had to go there, some homemade marshmallows. We're gonna make a little bit of Christmas candy, some Christmas cookies, and then we're gonna package up all the items I make because I love to give them as gifts. I can't wait for you to join me on this all Christmas extravaganza. When I say Christmas is my favorite time of year, I don't think you or anyone can really understand how obsessed I am. Yeah, I go over the top of decorations. Yes, I bake way too much, but honestly, Christmases are really what I remember growing up. My mom made such a big deal of them. We baked all the time, we decorated together. It's probably where I got my love for decorating and hoarding everything vintage Christmas. It really is a special time, and I hold those memories so dear. Our big thing growing up was always Christmas Eve. We always had so many family Christmases on Christmas Day that on Christmas Eve we had our special, just immediate family meal. We had a candlelight meal, Mom would make it really special, and her and I would go over the menu. So as you can see, I really had no choice but to enjoy baking and cooking. We would open our presents Christmas morning. My sister and I would always get up way early, just like everyone does, and try to wake Mom and Dad. Dad always was outside choring because we grew up on a farm and he always seemed to take extra long on Christmas morning. No, he probably didn't, but we sure thought he did. I love the feeling Christmas brings, and every year it still brings that feeling to me. I'm so glad that I can hold on to those memories, but also create some new ones of my own. I still decorate and go over the top of my mom's house, but now that I have a house of my own, I do it at my house too. So it takes quite a while, and yes, I start kind of early. So why don't we go out, do a few outdoor decorating things, and then we'll come inside and start the amazing baking extravaganza. I love to decorate outside over the holidays, and each of my urns or flower pots gets something added to it. This is one of my favorites because it's a focal piece. I just jammed greens all over inside of it. I put this great sphere in to give it some structure and just overall look. And now I'm just gonna finish it up. I'm gonna put a few birch twigs around it. Birch is iconically used around Christmas because they have a great white look. Usually the bark is slightly papery and coming off, and they just really set something off and give it some great color. I have a lot of arborvitae growing around my place, so I use that as the base in a lot of my urns. And then I finish with some longer needled items that I buy at local centers. To finish it off, I'm just gonna put a couple pine cones wired onto some twigs just to give them some good stabilization right in here. Decorating outdoor for the holidays is really easy, greens and pine cones. I don't expect everyone to do every pot around their place, but yeah, I do every pot because I am obsessed with Christmas. So this one, I did a lot the same thing. I used some red twig dogwood as the center focal point, and then I just put different greens around it. Again, some arborvitae, some longer stemmed items. Seriously, you guys, this is easy. You're just jamming the greens in there and having a center focal point. What could be easier? You can do this, and I can't wait to see how you guys use this as inspiration. It's starting to get a little bit chilly out, and I'm really ready to get warmed up. So I'm gonna go in and make some delicious sipping chocolate, show you how it can also be used as a gift, and then get started on the baking. Come on. So another gift I love to give around the holidays is some good chocolate for a beautiful sipping chocolate. And after a cold day outside doing some decorating, I kind of want some too. It's really simple. Let me show you how I do it. I'm just gonna finely chop up some really good quality milk chocolate and semi-sweet chocolate. While for baking, I love to use semi-sweet chocolate usually. When it comes to drinking, sometimes it's a little too bitter, so I like to cut it with a little bit of milk chocolate. A little bit sweeter, a little bit more sugar, but it really creates a delicious and smooth sipping chocolate. I'll admit, it sounds a little pretentious to say sipping chocolate, but that's because this isn't just hot chocolate that you're pouring a powder into the glass. It's a delicious chocolate drink, and it should be called that. The finer you chop it up, the easier it's gonna melt. And when I say I love to give it as gifts, this is the easy part. You just get the chocolate all ready, package it up, and then when you give it as gifts, just put a little note with it, how much chocolate to use with how much milk, and people are ready to go. It's really a fun, festive, but also useful gift to give. Mix the two chocolates together just to make sure they're evenly incorporated. And then before I package this up, you guys, I'm gonna have to try some for myself. To make this sipping chocolate, you just need to heat up your milk. You can do it on the stove or in the microwave. Just pour the milk right in, and if you wanna make this really delectable, and you know I do, use whole milk because it's gonna be more delicious and rich. It's a treat, it's the holidays, it's worth it. Heat it up till it's just about scalding. You don't want it to boil or it could curdle, so just heat it up until it's just starting to steam. While that milk is coming up to temperature, just put about 2 tablespoons of the chocolate mixture right into your glass, and then we're gonna just pour the hot milk right over the top and let it melt together. I don't think hot chocolate's complete without a marshmallow, and if you know anything about me, you're not gonna use a store-bought marshmallow, you're gonna use homemade peppermint marshmallows. Don't groan, do not roll your eyes. Let me show you how I made them because it's so easy. To start, make sure to prepare your pan beforehand. Sprinkle in 1 cup of powdered sugar into the bottom of a 9x13 pan. Make sure to evenly coat the bottom because you do not want your marshmallows to stick. In the bowl of your electric mixer, place 1/2 cup of water and 3 envelopes of unflavored gelatin. While the gelatin is blooming, in a heavy bottom saucepan, put another 1/2 cup of water, 1/2 cup sugar, 1 cup syrup, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Stir that together and let it come to a boil. When the mixture reaches 238 to 240 degrees, remove it from the heat and pour it right into a measuring glass. This is going to stop the cooking right away. With the mixer running, slowly drizzle in the hot mixture into the bloomed gelatin. Turn the mixer on high and let it go for about 8 to 10 minutes until the mixture is cooled, billowy, and looks just like marshmallow fluff. Now you just need to add your flavorings. I like to scrape all the seeds out of 1 vanilla bean and put them right into the mixture, along with 1 teaspoon of real vanilla extract and 1/2 teaspoon of peppermint extract. This is really perfect for the holidays. Mix that together till it's really well combined. Once the flavorings are mixed in, just pour the mixture into the pan. Smooth it out till it's evenly over the whole pan and then sprinkle it with a few pieces of peppermint candy. You can skip this step if you want, but it just lets everyone know they're peppermint flavored. Dust the top with another cup of confectioner's sugar and then let them sit for 4 to 6 hours until they're cooled and easy to cut. I'm just gonna quick cut the marshmallows. They're kind of sticky, so you're gonna want that extra powdered sugar that we sprinkled on top and bottom to be able to dip the sides into to get all that stickiness covered. Just flip it over, this could be kind of messy, and dump it right out. These are really sticky, so we're just gonna start cutting them. You can cut them whatever size or shape or anything you want. But as soon as you cut them, to get that stickiness away, just dip them right in that extra powdered sugar. The milk is hot, so I'm just gonna pour it directly over that chocolate I have in my glass. As you can see, if you're a bad pourer like I am, it can be a little messy, but let that chocolate slowly melt and then just stir it right in until it's completely melted. Now before I drink it, just to get that look that you need to have, I'm gonna have to put a marshmallow right on top and take a huge sip. Okay, it's delicious. It is smooth, it is sweet, It is chocolatey, it is everything you want. And I don't think that powdered stuff has got anything on this. I can't wait for you to try this sipping chocolate. Now that we've all had our morning cup of chocolate, who needs coffee anymore? I am just gonna go ahead and make some delicious thumbprint cookies. They are so good, and I know you're gonna wanna make these. You can either give them away as gifts or eat them all for yourself. Come help me. What goes together better than Christmas and cookies? I think every family has those traditional cookies they always make. These thumbprint cookies are one of my favorites because they're chocolate and caramel. Who doesn't love that? And they start like most other cookies do. We're gonna start by putting some butter and brown sugar into the electric mixer and get it creaming. Cream together a half cup of butter and 2/3 cup of brown sugar. I do like to lightly pack it. That's the best way to do brown sugar. Lift the bowl and start it creaming. Whenever you're creaming butter, make sure it's at room temperature. It's gonna come together a lot easier. When you're using brown sugar and butter to cream, it's not gonna cream quite as light and fluffy as regular sugar, but still wait till it gets slightly lighter and definitely fluffy. I like to scrape down the bowl a couple times here. As you can see, the butter really builds up on the sides. And so to make sure everything else mixes in well, just give it a good scrape. Now we can add our egg yolk and some heavy cream. Just separate the egg and make sure to save the white because we're going to use that in a little bit. Once you have the egg white mostly separated out, you can just add your yolk right to the bowl. Add in 2 tablespoons of heavy cream and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. If you're worried, definitely measure your vanilla. I'm never worried about getting a little extra in there, so I just kind of eyeball it. Just lift it up now and mix that all together. Scrape down the sides of the bowl again. This is such a delicious dough. It has that 1 egg yolk, which really adds a lot of richness, but it doesn't add too much moisture with all that egg white. Now we can sift our dry ingredients. I just like to put a colander over my bowl and that becomes my sifter. We're gonna need 1 cup of flour. Just lighten your flour up a little bit and then just scrape it right off so it's level. And now a 1/3 cup of cocoa. I like to use Dutch processed cocoa because it has that really dark color that you want when a cookie bakes and a delicious deep chocolate flavor. To finish this off, we just need a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now sift that all together to get those lumps out. My cocoa always has a lot of lumps. I don't know about you, but you definitely want to sift them out. Any of those lumps left in the bottom, they're still good, just push them through. I'm not gonna waste all that cocoa. Add the dry ingredients directly to the bowl. Then just mix it together till it's completely incorporated. This is a really dense, rich dough, so don't worry if it looks a little bit thicker than other cookie doughs you're used to. That's exactly what you want for a thumbprint. I'm gonna clean up a little bit of this mess and then get out my parchment lined baking sheet so we can start making the cookies. I'm just gonna go ahead and take the bowl off the mixer and give it one final stir just to make sure everything's incorporated. Sometimes a stand mixer can leave a few pieces at the bottom, so just make sure everything's really well combined. Before I start making these cookies, I'm gonna get the egg white ready that I need. So I have that 1 egg white that I've left over and 1 tablespoon of water. I'm just gonna stir those together till they're well combined. And then when I make the cookies, I'm gonna roll them in the egg white and then in some toasted pecans that I already have chopped really finely before they bake. That way when they bake, those nuts are gonna stick really well to the cookie and it's gonna be delicious. To make the cookies, I'm using a 1/2 tablespoon size cookie scoop. Just gonna scoop it out right into my hand, roll it around a little bit to get it smooth, then dip it right into the egg white. Once it's coated well in the egg white, I'm just gonna roll it in those chopped and toasted pecans, and and then put it right onto my parchment lined sheet. We're gonna finish up this whole sheet, then we're gonna press them with a thumbprint. Now yes, these are a thumbprint cookie and you can totally use your thumb on each one, but I like to use a teaspoon round measuring spoon. Don't want to use another shape, but a round one because it's easier, cleaner, and makes a perfect circle. And I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. Now that we made an indentation in each cookie, we're just going to put them into a preheated 355-degree oven for about 10 minutes until they're set. As you can see, they puffed up slightly, so we're gonna remake that indent or thumbprint in the middle of each one and then put a little bit of caramel I have prepared. If you need a good caramel recipe, just check out the website. It's super easy and it's one of our basics. Adding the caramel is kind of a messy part of this cookie, but it's definitely worth it because believe me, you want the caramel. Just add about a half teaspoon of prepared caramel to each cookie. Do it when they're slightly warm, that way it will kind of melt out and smooth over the top. Since this is Christmas, and I usually love to give away my baked goods as gifts, I'm gonna gild the lily a little bit on these cookies and drizzle over some melted chocolate. So I'm just gonna break up this chocolate right into a little measuring cup and put it right into the microwave. 30-second increments, stirring it in between until it's completely smooth and melted, and then drizzle it over the top. Just use a small spatula, fork, spoon, whatever, and just lightly drizzle it over the top. There's really no perfect way to do it. I think the more haphazard it looks, the better. Usually I let the chocolate drizzle cool completely on the cookie, but I cannot wait to try one of these. So, oh my goodness. Rich chocolate cookie, delicious caramel, that little bit of chocolate drizzle. These are the ultimate Christmas cookie. Indulgent and delicious. These are perfect for any gift and I cannot wait for you to try them. Coming up, we're gonna make 2 iconic Christmas candies for me. This is what we always made growing up and I think you're soon gonna love it too. For me, Christmas candy means 2 things, peanut clusters and chow mein candy, and I'm going to show you how to make both because it is so easy. I already have melted in here 1 pound of white chocolate and 12 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. I just melted over simmering water. Now it's melted, we can take it over and add our peanuts. Before I add the peanuts to this, I want to get the chocolate and butterscotch chips ready for the chow mein candy. It's 12 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate, just slightly break it up, and 1 bag or 11 ounces of butterscotch chips. Just pour those right over the top and set it on the simmering water. While that mixture's melting, I'm just gonna add my roasted Spanish peanuts right to this chocolate mixture, stir it together, then make clusters on parchment lined baking sheets. Pour in 1.5 pounds of roasted and salted Spanish peanuts. Just stir that together until it's well combined. I mean, guys, I could eat this right out of the bowl, but it probably would be a bad idea because once I get started, I don't know if I would stop. Using 2 spoons, I'm just gonna make clusters. You can kind of make them in piles, small amounts, whatever size you want. I like to keep them somewhat smaller so you don't feel bad eating a whole bunch. I like 2 spoons because I can scoop with one and push off with the other. I'll admit using 2 spoons doesn't give you perfectly round clusters, but honestly, I like that. Everyone knows they're homemade. And around the holidays, I am baking so much, I am giving a lot of it away as gifts. So I like people to know it is coming from my kitchen and made by me. I always knew Christmas was coming when Mom started making this candy. I have the best memories of walking to the kitchen, it smelling wonderful, cookies were maybe cooling on the table, and peanut clusters and chow mein candy were being made. It definitely was my favorite time of year, and it really still is. I think it's those memories that really make the holidays extra special. And I know it sounds cheesy, but I am loving them just as much now as I did when I was little. And making these is one of the reasons. When a pan is full, I just set it aside, let it cool until they're hardened, and then keep making the clusters. With the peanut clusters done, I just want to stir my 12 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate and 1 bag or 11 ounces of butterscotch chips together. They've been sitting over that same simmering water, and I just want to get them all melted and smooth. Now that this is all melted, I'm just gonna add 4 cups of chow mein noodles. You can usually find them in the ethnic section of your grocery store. They're really delicious, crunchy little noodle things. Just throw them right into this melted mixture and stir it together. Just stir it together, make sure everything is really evenly coated. You want all those noodles to have this butterscotch chocolate mixture all over them and coated completely. Guys, this smell is bringing back so many awesome memories, and I just kind of want to eat it out of the bowl like cereal. But I'm gonna make the mounds for you guys because you deserve to see what they should look like and not see me just eating it with a spoon. So just using 2 spoons again, I'm just gonna make mounds kind of like we did with the peanut clusters. The chocolate holds them together, and then when they harden, they are just these perfect little mounds of such good candy. I mean, and if you're anything like me, you better have some Christmas music playing while you are making this, because let me tell you something. If this doesn't put you in the mood, you are Scrooge. Both the peanut clusters and chow mein candy are completely done, and you want to let them dry completely and cool off to room temperature so you can pick them up easily, and that way you can start tasting them. Slightly salty from the peanuts, a delicious chocolate mixture. Okay, those are good. And now the chow mein. I love the crispiness and that butterscotch. So good. Now with the candies finished cooling, I'm gonna finish doing a little bit of Christmas decorating around the house, because what would be more festive after Christmas candy than Christmas decorating? Why don't you guys come help me a little bit? Around the holidays, no surface goes untouched in my house. What may be too much for other people is not enough for me. I put snow anywhere I can, even like my bay window. I mean, honestly, snow inside's really practical. I mean, who doesn't have it just happen to snow inside their house? You're gonna probably have to vacuum up after this. It's worth it. After the snow's down, I love to put these vintage style houses in different places. Honestly, decorating on the holidays is really easy. Just use what you enjoy and maybe colors that go in your house, but you don't have to overthink it. A little bit of snow, a little bit of greenery here and there, a few little vignettes, maybe a bottle brush tree, and you're ready to go. I use any type of old or fun object I have to vary some heights. So I'm using old mortars here without the pestles, just to give these trees a little bit of elevation. It's fun to add different textures and things that you collect with your holiday decor. After I bake so many things for the holidays, it's definitely what I love to give away as gifts, and it's really simple. You can package them in really fun ways, and everyone loves to get a baked good or something to eat or drink during the holidays. They can use it, and it's delicious. One of the great drinks I love to give is wassail, or a hot apple cider, and it's really simple to make. To package this, I love to use a fun bottle. That way it's a gift in itself, and the recipient can use it for something else. We're just gonna fill the bottle about 2/3 with a really good quality apple cider. Don't use the apple juice here, it isn't near as good. The cider has so much more flavor, it's in season. Find a local one that you love. And for easy pouring, easy cleanup, I'm using a funnel because if you've seen me around the kitchen, I'm not always a clean cook, people. After it's about 2/3 to 3/4 the way full of apple cider, I like to finish it off with some cranberry juice. You want 100% cranberry juice. It really pairs well with apple cider, and with the spices we're gonna add, it's delicious. Cap it off, and then we'll get our spices ready to put with it. I like to put the spices right into a little cheesecloth sachet. This is something that you'd put herbs or spices into and then put them right into something when they're cooking so they don't go everywhere. This way also the recipient can pour this right into a saucepan, dump the sachet packet right in there, heat it up, and it's all ready to go. We're just gonna put a few whole cloves and 2 star anise right into this bag. I like to get about 6 cloves, more or less, it's okay, just kind of a few there, and then 2 star anise. Not only are these beautiful to look at, but they also smell amazing and are exactly what the holidays smell like. Dump them right into this packet, and then to finish it off, we need a few cinnamon sticks. Put them right into that packet with it. Guys, this is smelling so good. I love using these pre-made sachets because they have the string on them. You can just pull it together, tie it off once so the packet doesn't come open, and then just tie it right to the bottle. I just wrote the instructions right on that little card. Bring it to a simmer with the sachet packet, let it simmer for about 20 minutes, and then they are gonna have a delicious wassail for Christmas. Why don't you help me package up the rest of all these goodies I've made? I just like to have different boxes and containers ready to go, maybe fitted with a little bit of tissue paper to make it more festive, and sometimes wax paper to go in between, because these cookies can be sticky on top. I also made some of my favorite peanut brittle. It's my grandma's recipe. I'm just gonna also package that up. If you guys wanna see the recipe, make sure to check out the video we have. It is so delicious and it's really easy. I always say it's easy, but I really think it is. The last gift I have here are these marshmallows and chocolate. Just make sure your marshmallows were really coated with powdered sugar on all sides. Put them right into a beautiful bag because these are so pretty, you want people to see them. Inside of my bag of marshmallows, I'm just gonna put a smaller bag with all that delicious chocolate I chopped up. That way it's the perfect gift, marshmallows and chocolate. I think making things to give away as gifts is honestly the perfect thing for the holidays. People can use it, they're having guests over, and who isn't gonna appreciate some of these awesome baked goods? And if you enjoy baking them, you might as well give them away and share the love. I love having all these little packages to give, and I think anyone you give them to is going to also. Thanks for joining me on this Christmas adventure. For all the awesome recipes, you can look underneath the video in the description box and find a PDF of everything you need to know. I can't wait to hear how you guys are enjoying the holidays. Merry Christmas.